A social mind can model another mind. The same ability can mislead it. Manipulations begins inside that gap. In a lab, researchers told 2.5-year-old children not to peek at a hidden toy. Some peeked. Then the adult came back and asked one question: "Did you look?" And at an age before most children can tie their shoes, some looked at the adult and said no. That moment is disturbing only if you misunderstand it, because the first lie is not proof that a child is broken. It is proof that the brain has learned something powerful. Another person can believe something false. So when does manipulation first appear? The answer is darker than childhood, because it appears twice. Once, millions of years ago, when primate brains became social, and again, inside every human mind, when a child realizes that another mind can be moved. Manipulation is not where intelligence fails. It may be where social intelligence begins. To answer this properly, we need 5 steps. First, what manipulation actually is. Second, why evolution would build a brain capable of it. Third, when it first appears, in evolution and in childhood. Fourth, why your gut is bad at detecting it. And fifth, how to protect your mind without becoming paranoid. Persuasion says, "Here is my reason, decide." Manipulation says, "Here is the pressure, react." This matters because manipulation is not defined by how dramatic it feels. It is defined by function. What does the behavior make you believe? What does that belief make you do? And who benefits when you do it? That brings us to the 3-part test. 1. Is the behavior normal in another context? 2. Is it used here to create a false belief? 3. Does the actor benefit from that false belief? The most dangerous manipulation does not feel like force. It feels like your own decision. Now the uncomfortable part. This ability did not begin in modern relationships. It is older than language. In a simple environment, you need memory. In a social environment, you need strategy. Because food does not lie. Weather does not hold grudges. But another social animal can remember, hide, punish, trade, fake, forgive, and retaliate. Brains evolved for social prediction. Manipulation is one possible use of that system. The same organ that lets you understand another person's pain also lets you aim at it. So where do we first see this shadow system activate? This is the first dark lesson of social intelligence. If you cannot move the body, move the belief. A social signal used in the wrong context can redirect another mind before language, ideology, or modern status games ever appear. The motive arrives before the skill. The child can create a false belief but cannot yet maintain the whole false world around it. The system is online but not yet skilled. So when does manipulation first appear? In evolution, it appears when a social animal can use a signal to alter another individual's belief. In development, it appears when a child realizes that what you believe can be different from what is true. That is the switch. Not evil, not corruption, mind modeling. Manipulation did not appear once. It reappears every time a social mind is built. But if this ability is built into social intelligence, there is a second problem. You are not as good at spotting it as you think. Your gut feeling is not a system. Humans are biased social animals. If you cannot reliably read moments, you need to read patterns. The popular idea is that deception leaks through the eyes, the voice, the posture, the micro-expression, but the research is much less cinematic. People are not magical lie detectors. They are biased social animals, and one of the strongest biases is simple. We usually assume people are telling the truth. You will never outfeel a manipulator. You can only outpattern one. This is where the 4-step framework becomes the tool. First, you observe the patterns. Do not overreact to one event. Track repetition. A single lie may be panic. A repeated lie with benefit is a strategy. Then you analyze the motives. Ask, what does this behavior get them? Control, access, sympathy, money, sex, status, time. Then understand the behavior. Name the tactic, not something feels off. Be more specific. Naming reduces emotional fog. Lastly, you can protect your mind. Do not react from the pressure. Respond from the pattern. Delay, verify, ask for specifics. Watch what happens when you say no. So this is how you protect without paranoia. Protection is not suspicion of everyone. It is a calm operating procedure. Rule number 1, slow the clock. Manufactured urgency is one of the easiest ways to bypass judgment. If the decision is real, it can usually survive a delay. Pressure hates time. Rule number 2, separate message from pressure. Ask, if this came without guilt, fear, flattery, or urgency, would the request still make sense? If the logic disappears when the pressure is removed, the pressure was the argument. Rule number 3, track patterns, not apologies. An apology explains a moment. A pattern predicts the future. Watch what changes after the apology. And rule number 4, watch the reaction to boundaries. The clearest data often appears after resistance. A healthy person may be disappointed. A manipulative person escalates, punishes, reframes, or guilt loads. Awareness is not paranoia. Awareness is friction against automatic control. Manipulation is not just a modern relationship problem. It is an ancient feature of social intelligence. It appears in primates when signals become tools. It appears in children when belief separates from reality. And it survives in adults because most people try to read moments instead of patterns. That 2-year-old who lied was not broken. Their mind had just activated a feature millions of years in the making. The question is not whether manipulation exists around you. The question is whether you can see the pattern before it moves you.